Greetings. Greetings. Now, guys, we can do better than we Democrats. Greetings. Greetings. Listen, this is a great day today.
It is.
Today we decide and we tell the nation the values of Mississippi. Right. This is what this process is about. Electing Democrats up and down the ticket and making sure that our values are known. Now, I'm going to go into some greater detail a little later on during the luncheon, so I'm not going to take a lot of time in the podium today. But one thing I need all of us to know is that we can win. That's right. You see, Mississippi, although they say we're a red state, you know how they keep rolling it up, it's a red state, supermajority. What if I told you that we're not? Policy-wise, 80% of Mississippians say that we're blue. How do I know that? Because we are all in agreement on Medicaid expansion that we need it in the state of Mississippi. That's a Democrat policy. A clean ballot initiative that gives folks a vote at the polls when elected officials don't do what they're asked or told to do by electorate. We have to restore the ballot initiative process. That is a Democratic policy. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. Public education. And we're having a time trying to figure out what we're going to do with that, whether we're going to go with this Inspire bill or some version of NAP. All we know is that Democrats support public education. So, at the end of the day, we're going to give them more than pushback. Because we're not going to just push back with policy, we're going to push back at polls. Let me share this with you. Organically, we are trending more to the middle, the state of Mississippi. That means every 4 years, we gain 1.2, 1.4% of a percentage point towards the middle, organically. Can you imagine what we could do with infrastructure? See, this is what the Democratic Party is about. It's about infrastructure. Yeah, imagine organically what we can do when we're organized, when our communication is right, when our messaging is on point. And one of the greatest benefits that I've seen this election cycle is that we were able to take our messaging that we found on the streets and in Kroger and in Walmart and the things that our community was telling us to do, and it eventualized into legislation. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're winning, whether we know it or not. We were 3 points away from winning the governor's seat, the gubernatorial seat of Grand President. Surely we can do better next time. Right? Yeah. Now, I can celebrate this. One of my mentors, my return brother, he worked across the aisle, worked across the hallway for many years. We have him here today. He's our commissioner. Not only did he retain his seat, but he showed us a pathway to win in commissioner races. So please give Mr. Willie Simmons, Commissioner Simmons, a round of applause. We also took the seat with Commissioner Nikita Sanders. Please give him a round of applause. But we have to take the fight a little further. Not just statewide, not just commissioner races, but we got to get down to the state legislature where we have friends like Otis Anthony here representing Otis Anthony. And I cannot say enough thank you to Representative Oscar Dick for hosting us in his town today. Will you please stand, Representative Dick? Like I told you, we in your house today, ladies. So, we have a lot to celebrate. We got a lot of work to do. But let's work in unison, not dysfunction. Let's work with a specific goal in mind and not confusion. Listen, we're Democrats. We're going to be loud, boisterous. Some of us going to be a little cantankerous. But you got to talk, that's why we're the Big Ten. And we're going to settle our issues here today. And whatever happens, we're gonna go on and we're gonna lead the state of Mississippi, starting with CD2. So let's roll the last things and get this work out. But you'll hear more from me with the vision of the state, with the vision of the state party at our luncheon. Without any further ado, I'd like to say thank you to our chairman, Willie Griffith, and his leadership, along with Jackie Angus, with her leadership. And let's continue to be great Democrats and work for the state of Mississippi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman Taylor. Is Ty Pinkins in the room?
Right here, sir.
We understand that he's taking on the challenge of running for United States Senator.
Woo!
And, I'm reminded of what Jesse Jackson always said, that if I don't run, I will lose. But if I run, I may lose. Or win. Okay? So, Mr. Pinkins has elected to take on a challenge. Some of us, most of us, are afraid to do. Okay? To challenge one of the so-called stalwarts in this state. The devil up. So I'm going to allow him to come and tell us from his heart why we ought to. We know why we ought to elect him, but some of us have apprehensions every time we see a Democrat running. The Democrat has to do more than the Republican to explain him or herself to get elected. So I'm going to ask Mr. Pinkins to come forward and make presentation.
Democrats. Democrats. That's what I'm talking about. You in Vicksburg, Mississippi, this is my hometown. That fellow right there is my representative, Oscar Denton. Thank you for being a mentor. I appreciate you. And thank you all for coming to the River City here in Vicksburg. Mr. Chairman, thank you for sharing this space with me. Chairman Taylor, thank you for everything that you've done for me in this campaign thus far. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates and honored guests, I'm truly humbled to stand before you today in the beautiful river city of Vicksburg, Mississippi, where the spirit of the mighty Mississippi River flows through our hearts and our minds as we come together to shape the destiny of our beloved state. As we gather here at the Vicksburg Convention Center, I want to extend a warm welcome to all the distinguished elected officials who have traveled from across the 2nd Congressional District. I'd like to recognize Leader Simmons, Leader Johnson, Chairman Taylor, for your steadfast leadership and commitment to the betterment of our communities. A special acknowledgement goes out to Warren County Supervisors Jackson and Banks for your diligent service and advocacy on behalf of the Warren County community. Additionally, I want to express gratitude to Chairman Griffith for sharing this space with me. Your presence here underscores the importance of the issues we face in Mississippi and the unity we must cultivate as we chart the course ahead for a better future for our state. Together with leaders like yourselves and the support of dedicated individuals in your communities and across our districts, we can overcome the challenges before us and build a stronger and more prosperous Mississippi for generations to come. Today, as we gather here overlooking the mighty Mississippi River, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of purpose and determination. For me, this convention is not just a political event. It is a homecoming, a return to the roots of my upbringing in Sharkey County, just up the highway. And it's with that sense of connection and commitment that I stand before you as your Democratic nominee for the United States Senate. As we look out upon the beauty of this river, let us not forget the struggles and challenges faced by our fellow Mississippians. Poverty, childhood hunger, healthcare disparities. These are not just statistics, they are harsh realities of life for far too many in our state. And yet, despite these challenges, we see leaders who would rather play politics than address the pressing needs of our communities. They reject federal aid that could provide relief to those who need it most, all the while claiming to represent the interests of the people. But my fellow Democrats, we cannot afford to accept this status quo any longer. We cannot stand idly by as our democracy is threatened by divisive forces and authoritarian influences. We cannot allow leaders like my opponent, Senator Roger Wicker, to continue enabling erosion of our democratic values. It is time for us to rise up and demand better. I stand before you today not as a politician seeking power for power's sake, but as a dedicated servant of the people, committed to honest representation and real change for Mississippi. I am here because I believe in the power of democracy, in the promise of equality and justice for all. And I know that together we can build a better future for our state. In my travels across this great state, I have been inspired by the resilience and hope of the people I have met in your communities, from the Delta to the Gulf Coast, from the hills of North Mississippi to the piney woods of the South. I have seen the strength and determination of ordinary Mississippians who refuse to give up and who refuse to lose faith in the promise of a better tomorrow. And it is their spirit that fuels my determination to fight for change. This upcoming election is not just about choosing the senator. No. It is about deciding the future of our democracy. The stakes could not be higher. From the composition of the Supreme Court to the balance of power in the Senate, what's happening right now in this room right now, and the decisions we make in about 7 months will shape the course of our nation for years to come. Second Congressional District Democrats, I submit to you that this is the year that we change politics in the state of Mississippi for generations to come. From the river cities of Greenville, Natchez, and right here in Vicksburg, and the interior markets of Clarksdale, Greenwood, and Clinton, from Issaquah County nestled up against the Mississippi River to our capital in Jackson and beyond. It is time for change. The United States Senate majority is up for grabs this year, ladies and gentlemen. And Mississippi, yes, our beloved Mississippi, specifically because of our demographics. It's one of the few states in our region where we can make a Democratic pickup. This is not just a possibility, but a tangible reality within our grasp. As we reflect on the numbers from last year's gubernatorial election, we see the undeniable truth. Mississippi elections are decided within a few thousand votes. This is our moment, our opportunity to make history and reshape the political landscape of our state. But let's be honest with ourselves. In order for any candidate to succeed, we need three essential elements. We need the numbers, the voters. We need grassroots organizing, and we need a reliable donor base. For far too long, Mississippi Democrats have been fighting with one hand tied behind our back. You know what I'm talking about. We have been lacking the full arsenal needed for victory. We have the numbers. Look at our neighbors to the east in Georgia. In just a few election cycles, they transformed their states from ruby red to deep purple, elected 2 Democrats to the United States Senate. And they did it with an African-American population of approximately 28%. Less than what we have. Thank you, Chairman. Now, tell me this, my fellow Mississippi Democrats. With a black population that's hovering around 40% in Mississippi, why can't we do the same thing? I submit to you today with unwavering conviction that yes, we can. The next logical question from you to me is, well, Ty, that sounds good, but how do we achieve this? Thank you for asking. We are building a grassroots campaign right now, unlike anything Mississippi has seen in a generation. With team leaders in all 82 counties, all 410 supervisor districts, and all 1,768 precincts, we will reach every voter we need to mobilize, and we will reach them early and often with local, dedicated organizers. Because we understand that the power of grassroots organizing is a superpower of this campaign. And our local, county, and community organizers, guess who they are? They are our superheroes. But that's not all. We're going to fix those 2 issues that we've been missing in Mississippi. We're building a reliable donor base through what we have determined to be called the 330 Finance Council. For too long, if you have ran for office in Mississippi, you understand how hard it is to raise money. We're using this campaign to fix 2 of those 3 things that we've been missing. I mentioned the numbers. We have them. Look at the Mississippi Delta. Look at Hinds County. Look it up in DeSoto County, Forest County. We have the numbers. We just need some grassroots organization to turn those numbers out and reliable donor base to fund it. We're building that grassroots organization now with your help. And we're building that reliable donor base. And here's what's going to happen after we build it. We're going to pass it on to candidate after candidate over the successive years so they can continue building on it to make sure that we do in 2027 this. We take back the Senate majority in this state. That's what we do. We elect a Democratic government in this state. That's what we do. In 2026, we send City High Smith home. In 6 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days, we send Ty Pinkins to the United States Senate. So here's what I need from you, because it starts right here. In fact, it started a few weeks ago at your county conventions. With the few steps coming through the door that turned into a ripple on a room. And a crowd of people sitting in a room in a little city center or a coffee shop. And it transformed to the first Congressional District Convention in Oxford last week. And then it hopped over to Vicksburg, Mississippi for the second CD convention. Next week, we're going to Meridian. Then we're going down to Biloxi because we're setting a fire. I hope you can see it in my eyes. I'm serious. I love this state just like you do. And I believe in the work that each and every one of you local leaders, grassroots champions are doing right now. So give yourselves a round of applause. Here's what I need. I need for you to believe in me. I'll say that again. I know I'm a rookie at this, but fear does not live in my heart. I'll keep it. God that doesn't allow that. Fear does not rest within me. I need you to believe in me. Outside right now is a truck. On the back of that truck, there's 29 boxes. There are 29 counties in the 2nd Congressional District. There are 2 men on that truck. When you walk out of these main doors, if you are a Democratic executive chair from any county in the 2nd Congressional District, you need to tell those men on their truck to take that box of signs and put them in your car. You don't have to do anything but point and ask. That is it. Let us do the rest. Thank y'all for sharing your time with me. Let's do this.